Hey everybody, in this video we are going to be doing a word problem dealing with the radius of a can. This will be a cylindrical problem. Sometimes you have cylinder problems that are dealing with volume, and other times you might have a cylinder problem dealing with surface area. If you look at the problem, you see that it's going to mention surface area. In calculus, they often will involve both. What volume would be the most you can have if the surface area is limited to this? Yada, yada. So let's get into this problem. But actually, before we start, when we are dealing with a surface area problem, it's important to remember what the surface area formula is and why. So a cylinder, we recognize often to be two circles and the what we call lateral area. If we were to come along and cut that lateral area down there and then unravel this can, right? I'm just going to draw a bit of a rendering here. Let's see. Oh, no, this should go down a little more. And not my most artistic moment, but humor me. Okay, if I start to unravel, do you see like I'm opening this up? What you will be left with is a rectangle. Okay, and the area of a rectangle is length times width or base times height. Now the width, if I use this to be the width, well, that is this, right? That is that over there, right? This is here. Therefore, it's here, here. So what does that tell us? That tells us that the width, okay, whatever we're calling width, the width is equal to circumference, which is 2 pi r. And that's very important to remember, okay? So our width is our circumference, and our circumference is 2 pi r. But the top and the bottom is the area of two circles. So that's going to be, in that case, area equals pi r squared. And on the bottom, area equals pi r squared. So all together, and then this over here is height. So all together, what will my surface area equation be? So think about that while I erase this, and we're going to do the problem. So I'm going to dive into the equation without that drawing. So if you need that picture to kind of help you figure that out on your own, so on a test or on a quiz, you could conclude that by yourself, then go back and make sure you understand that. So I'm going to have a note for myself, surface area, because like I said, I already read ahead, will equal 2 pi r squared, top and bottom, plus base times height, width times length, whatever. The width was 2 pi r, and the height is the height. So there's my surface area. Now let's go ahead. A can of Blue Runner red kidney beans has a surface area of 371 centimeters squared. That's surface area. Its height is 12 centimeters. What is the radius of the circular top? Round to the nearest hundredth. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r times 12. This over here will become 2 pi, that's my A, r squared, plus 24, that's not a 4, hello, 24 pi, that's my B, r. So it's like x squared, x, right? It's quadratic. And I'm going to get this equal to 0. Let's get ahead. Minus 371. So A is equal to 2 pi. B is equal to 24 pi. And C is equal to negative 371. I'm just going to get right to the point here. This is not going to be factorable, right? Like nothing that you're going to factor in your head, right? So for this question, number 33, you're going to use the quadratic formula. Now, if I had to put money on it, I'm going to bet you're going to get one positive answer and one negative answer. The radius has to be greater than 0, of course, right? If you have a negative radius, then you live in a different dimension. So what you'll do is you're going to get into not x equals, actually, r equals negative b, negative 24 pi, plus and minus the square root of b squared, which is 24 squared and pi squared, minus 4a c all over 2a, which will end up being 4 pi, like that. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to take this whole thing. You're going to use your calculator to help you out to get the answer. And if you're punching it all into your calculator correctly, you should get, well, this will become negative and negative, so it really becomes plus, right? 4 times 2 pi times 371. Let me see if I could do a little on the side with my calculator over here. So what do I have? 4 times 2, that's 8 times 371 times pi equals. So the part over here in the green highlighter, right, is going to be, you might hear my timer going off. I believe my stove needs tending to, but we will finish this problem. 9, 3, 2, 4 point, I don't know, 25-ish, plus, then I'm going to have 24 pi, and I'm going to square that. So that means this pink here is essentially 5684. Hopefully I'm not mistyping. 5684.89. Add that. Make sure you're getting the same thing in your calculator. A lot of people are overly confident at how well they type things into the calculator, but with order of operations, with exponents, a lot of mistakes happen. All right, so that's going to be 15,009.14. Oops, 15,009.14. And the square root of that, 122.5. I'm only rounding one decimal place here. Then I had the negative 24 pi. 24 times pi was, so it's like negative 75.4. And for 4 pi, r equals, and we have 4 times pi equals 12.566. Now you can tell right away if I use the negative 75 over here, right? Negative 75, and I subtract, divide by 12, I'm going to get a negative answer. And we just said my radius has to be positive. So I'm going to focus on using addition. So R equals, let's see, negative 75.4. So this is all like being rounded. Obviously, if I was using a more legitimate calculator than the one on my iMac, this would be different. But I have, let's see, 75.4, make it negative, add 122.5, hit equals 47.1, divided by 12.5. I'm sure every like chemistry and physics teacher is like cringing at my lack of using proper scientific notation or something like that. R equals about 3.75. I think it was centimeters, right? Centimeters. Okay, so I know I didn't show it on the screen, but that more or less is what happened. Okay, so hopefully go back to the beginning of the video so you know you understand, you know, what I did to get there, right? And I hope that you found this helpful. Okay, I will keep uploading more. I'm going to be going in whatever order upon your request. Yeah, check this playlist. It that will come up on the end screen. It's everything dealing with chapter 1. Hopefully they find it helpful. That's it for now. Adios.